Hello, it's Theo from Theo's Tech Tips, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use Google Apps Script. Let's get started. So Google Apps Script is a platform that you can use to write your own custom scripts that can integrate seamlessly with Google products. So the first thing you want to do is open up a web browser, and we're just going to search for Google Apps Script, and we're going to click on Start Scripting, and we're going to click on New Project, and I'm going to give my project a name, so I'm going to call it YouTube Project. And Google Apps Script is based on JavaScript, so you can see familiar syntax like function, and we also have pretty much the same methods that we have in JavaScript. But the benefit of Google Apps Script is that we can deploy this as a web app or an API or anything we want. So in this example, I'm going to write a web app that allows us to create a Google document. So to deploy a Google Apps Script project as a web app, you need to have a doGet or a doPost function, which will add a get or post endpoint to your application. So I'm just going to change this function to doGet, and this will add a get endpoint to our application. And inside of this doGet function, I'm going to return an HTML service .create HTML output from file, add my HTML file name. This will return an HTML file whenever the GET request is made to the application. So now I'm going to add a new HTML file, and we're going to call it index, and I'm just going to add a new heading, and I'm going to add a button that will allow us to create a Google Doc. And we're going to give it an ID of create doc, and we're going to go back to our code.js file, and we're going to add a new function called create doc. And the beauty of Google Apps Script is that this will directly integrate into all of the Google services. So I can just create a variable for doc and set it to document app.create and give it a name. And I can set the text in the doc by going doc.getBody.setText, and then I can save the doc, and then I can return the URL of the doc. And when I run this function, it'll create a new Google Doc from the app. So now we can go back to our index.html file, and we can add a new script tag, and this will allow us to run JavaScript from the client. So I'm just going to get the button, and I'm going to add an event listener, and inside this listener, we're going to run the server-side function. So to do this, we just need to call google.script.run.withSuccessHandler, and we're going to make a callback with doc_URL, and this is going to be what's returned from the server-side function, and we're just going to type window.open doc_URL, which will open the document that's been created. And then I can go .create doc, which will run the server-side function of create doc. And now we're done. So to deploy this as a web application, we need to go up to deploy and click on new deployment. And we can just go settings and click on web app. So we want to set this as v1, which will stand as version 1 so that we can see on the side what version it is. And then we can choose to execute this as your current Google account, which means that you'll have to authorize your account to run on behalf of the script. So anyone that runs the script will be creating a document in your Google account, or you can choose user accessing the web app, and this will require the user to authenticate with the Google account, and the document will be created in their Google account instead. So I'm going to set this to me so that the document will be created in my account, and then I'm going to set who has access to anyone. And this will allow anyone with the correct link to run this application. So then we're going to click on deploy, and then we're going to click on authorize access because we need to authorize it to our current Google account. And then it's going to give us a URL for this web app. So then I can just click on the URL, and then it'll bring us to the HTML page. And then we can click on Create Google Doc. And then it's going to open up a pop-up window. So I'm going to allow pop-ups. And here's our document. So the Google Apps Script ran successfully. So there are a number of other cool things you can do with Google Apps Script. Like you can change this to a doPost, which will make it accept a post request. And then you can just create an API, which will return JSON or data from the Google Doc or whatever you want. And it can act as a server for your application without having to pay for a cloud server instance or anything like that. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'm Theo from Theo's Tech Tips, and I'll see you next time. Bye!